Mongolia, the vanishing horizon. 10 million square miles for 2 centuries. That's how much of the world belonged to a single empire, stretching from the forests of Eastern Europe to the shores of the Pacific Ocean. Built by warriors who emerged from grasslands so vast they seemed endless. This empire dominated continents, reshaping trade, culture, and warfare forever. And yet, almost as quickly as it rose, it vanished, leaving behind whispers of conquest, a people forged by survival, and a land of extremes that continues to defy expectations. Mongolia is a country where the past and present coexist across endless horizons. From deserts that hum with ancient songs to mountains that have watched empires rise and fall, from nomads who still follow traditions older than many nations to a capital city thriving amid frozen winters, Mongolia tells a story of resilience, adaptation, and the human spirit enduring against impossible odds. But before starting the video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. Horses, life, spirit, and survival. In Mongolia, the horse is more than a creature. It is the pulse of a nation. Across the vast steppe, where winter temperatures plunge below 40 C and summers bake the earth under relentless sun, horses are the lifeblood of nomadic survival. They transport families, carry goods across hundreds of kilometers, and guide migrations between distant pastures. Horses outnumber people in Mongolia by nearly 2 to 1, and their endurance allows riders to cross landscapes that would be otherwise impassable, navigating frozen rivers, sand dunes, and wind-scoured plains. These animals are not bred for aesthetics alone. Mongolian horses are compact, strong, and resilient, capable of galloping for days with minimal food and water. They were essential to the campaigns of Genghis Khan, whose armies relied on multiple remounts to cover extraordinary distances, up to 100 miles in a single day. Today, horsemanship remains central to Mongolian identity. Children are taught to ride before they can walk properly, racing along grasslands, and learning to read a horse's mood with intuition honed over generations. Festivals such as Nomadic celebrate this heritage, with races spanning 30 to 40 kilometers, judged on stamina and spirit rather than beauty. To ride a Mongolian horse is to touch history itself, to feel the connection between humans, animals, and a land where survival is an art, and the bond between rider and horse is both sacred and practical. Heart of the empire, Oron Valley. The Oron Valley lies at the core of Mongolia's heart, a place where history and landscape intertwine. A calm river snakes through golden grasslands, glinting under the expansive sky, yet beneath its placid surface lie the echoes of empires, battles, and human ambition. Here stands the monumental tribute to Genghis Khan, a 40-meter steel and silver statue facing east, the direction in which his armies swept across continents. Surrounding the base, bronze warriors, stirrups poised, appear ready to ride once more, reminding visitors that this quiet valley was once the staging ground for conquests that reshaped the known world. The valley is also a place of human stories. Hulan, Genghis Khan's mother, embodies the courage and resilience required in an era when survival meant uniting clans and forging alliances through both diplomacy and strategy. Her guidance helped shape a leader whose influence would stretch from the Pacific to the Caspian. Today, her story, and that of countless Mongolian ancestors, is preserved in the valley's wind-swept plains and rugged hills. Visitors walking the trails may spot herds of Mongolian horses grazing alongside yurts, as if history itself still breathes in the grass. The Oron Valley remains a testament to endurance, vision, and the enduring spirit of a people whose empire rose from the nomadic steppe to touch every corner of Eurasia. Sutgalan Waterfall and Sacred Stones. In the heart of Oron Valley, Sutgalan Waterfall plunges 20 meters into a narrow canyon, its spray rising like a ghostly veil that catches sunlight, fracturing it into fleeting rainbows. The sound of water crashing against stone echoes across the cliffs, a natural rhythm that has shaped the valley for millennia. Around its base, Ancient civilizations left indelible marks. Deer stones etched with running stags, sun motifs, and symbolic patterns testify to shamanic rituals performed here, where humans sought dialogue with spirits of earth, sky, and water. Each carving is a frozen conversation between mortals and the unseen, a record of belief layered across centuries. Later, Turkic kings erected towering memorials at Bombor, commemorating the deeds of warriors whose campaigns shaped regional power. The Uyghurs, arriving centuries later, constructed their capital, Kar-Balgas, whose ruins now stand in silent testimony to once thriving streets, temples, and marketplaces. Even as empires rose and fell, the valley endured, preserving echoes of human ingenuity against the sweep of nature's permanence. Today, hikers tracing the canyon's paths can sense these layered histories beneath their feet. The bones of warriors, the whispers of shamans, and the pulse of water that has watched over this land since time immemorial. Monasteries of faith and survival. Perched on rocky ridges, Adana Zoo Monastery embodies Mongolia's capacity for faith and resilience. Constructed from stones salvaged from the Uyghurs' Kar-Balgas, its whitewashed walls enclose one of the nation's most sacred spiritual sites. A ring of 108 stupas marks the monastery's perimeter, each representing centuries of devotion, meditation, and the continuity of belief through tumultuous history. For more than 400 years, monks have chanted within these walls, their prayers echoing across valleys, surviving natural disasters, foreign invasions, and political purges. Yet faith alone could not shield Mongolia from the tides of external power. Angi Monastery, once a vibrant center of spiritual and community life, fell victim to Soviet purges in the 1930s. Its crumbling walls remain a haunting reminder of cultural suppression, while the surrounding steppe continues to bear witness to resilience and endurance. Despite these trials, Mongolia's traditions, shamanic rituals, Buddhist devotion, and nomadic lifestyles flow like subterranean rivers, sustaining the nation's spirit. Today, monasteries like Adana Zoo stand as both places of worship and symbols of survival, monuments to a people who, against every challenge, preserved identity, memory, and reverence for the sacred. Powolsky's horses, returning living history. Powolsky's horses, sometimes called Przewalski's horses after the Russian explorer who first documented them, were once considered extinct in the wild. By the 1960s, only a handful survived in captivity, and the species teetered on the edge of permanent loss. Thanks to international conservation programs and dedicated Mongolian ecologists, small herds were carefully reintroduced to remote steppe reserves such as Kustane-Nuru National Park. Today, seeing these horses gallop freely across rolling grasslands is like witnessing history in motion. Their muscular bodies, thick winter coats, and keen intelligence are adaptations honed over millennia, allowing them to survive brutal winters, sparse forage, and open terrain that challenges almost every other species. Powolsky's horses are more than a biological marvel, they are a cultural emblem. These wild horses share their heritage with the humans who have roamed the steppes for thousands of years, from nomadic herders to Genghis Khan's cavalry. Genetic studies reveal that they are one of the last surviving truly wild horse lineages, carrying DNA almost unchanged from their Ice Age ancestors. Their presence reminds Mongolians and visitors alike of the intimate relationship between humans, animals, and the land. Conservation of Powolsky's horses is both ecological and cultural. By protecting them, Mongolia safeguards living history, preserves genetic diversity, and strengthens a narrative that links modern life to the rhythms and resilience of the ancient steppe. Turtle Rock and the modern capital. Turtle Rock, a massive granite monolith shaped like a crouching turtle, rises from the Mongolian steppe as if frozen mid-stride for millions of years. It has survived volcanic activity, glacial shifts, and eons of wind and rain, standing as a natural monument to geological patience and endurance. Locals revere the site as sacred, believing it carries spiritual energy, while its silhouette against sunrise or sunset offers photographers and travelers a striking symbol of Mongolia's vast, enduring landscapes. Just beyond this timeless formation lies Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia's bustling capital and cultural hub. Despite being the coldest national capital in the world, with winter temperatures regularly dipping below 40 C, the city thrives. Bustling boulevards, markets brimming with yak cheese, and modern cafes coexist alongside historic sites such as Ganden Monastery, home to the massive 26-meter-tall Buddha statue, and Sukh-Batar Square, named after a revolutionary hero. Soviet-era memorials, including Zaisan Tolgoi, narrate Mongolia's complex 20th-century journey, reflecting periods of foreign influence, socialist governance, and the nation's eventual return to independence and democracy. Ulaanbaatar embodies the balance between past and present. Sacred and secular, residents navigate daily life while honoring centuries of tradition, and modern infrastructure, universities, and theaters coexist with nomadic tents on the city outskirts. The city is a crossroads where Mongolia's steppe identity meets global influence, a place where ancient mountains, sacred rocks, and the pulse of human ingenuity converge in one extraordinary living landscape. The breathing desert, the Gobi. The Gobi Desert is not just sand, it is a living, breathing archive of time. Spanning over 1.3 million square kilometers across southern Mongolia and northern China, it is the world's fifth largest desert, yet it surprises with astonishing diversity. From above, golden dunes ripple endlessly, while seasonal rains carve ephemeral rivers into the clay plains. Conger and L's towering dunes hum like a low, mournful song when the wind passes, a phenomenon caused by sand grains vibrating in unison, echoing across the horizon, and reminding travelers that even in stillness, the desert breathes. Limestone cliffs at Chagan Subwara rise like petrified waterfalls, their layers revealing sediment deposited by an ancient ocean that once dominated this land. Fossilized shells, corals, and even dinosaur bones, including rare velociraptor specimens, punctuate the desert floor, transforming the landscape into a prehistoric museum. Amid this harsh terrain, life endures. Nomadic families inhabit yurts, following traditional seasonal routes dictated by forage and water. Bactrian camels, their thick winter coats and dual humps uniquely adapted to temperature swings from 40 C to plus 40 C, carry goods, firewood, and people across distances that modern roads cannot traverse. Desert plants like saxaul trees and wild onions provide food and fuel, while elusive wildlife, Mongolian gazelles, snow leopards, and Gobi bears, navigate the dunes with uncanny precision. The Gobi is a paradox, barren yet teeming, timeless yet alive, a landscape that humbles humans with its vastness and endurance. Mountain guardians, eagles and yaks. Rising from the desert floor, Mongolia's mountains form natural fortresses marking borders with China, Russia, and Kazakhstan. Here, the sky is ruled by golden eagles, some with wingspans exceeding 2.3 meters. Among Kazakh hunters, these eagles are not merely hunting tools, they are partners. From a young age, female eagles are trained to respond to commands through whistles and gestures. Hunting requires profound trust. A single misstep can endanger both bird and human. This tradition, practiced for centuries, passes from parent to child, preserving knowledge of avian behavior, prey patterns, and the subtle rhythms of the mountains. High-altitude valleys are home to yaks, animals as indispensable as the mountains themselves. Their dense, insulating fur allows them to survive temperatures as low as 40 C, while their large lungs and sturdy legs enable them to navigate treacherous slopes. Yaks provide milk, butter, meat, and wool, supporting entire nomadic households in an unforgiving environment. Observing herders working with yaks and eagles is like watching a centuries-old ballet. Every movement deliberate, every interaction guided by respect and experience. In these highlands, survival is inseparable from understanding nature's patterns, and Mongolia's mountain guardians, both human and animal, stand as symbols of endurance, adaptation, and harmony in a world of extremes. Northern frontiers, forests, reindeer, and ice. Northern Mongolia is a world apart from the deserts and sweeping steppes of the south. Dense taiga forests stretch as far as the eye can see, broken only by crystal-clear lakes, winding rivers, and jagged ridges. Lake Curveskull, one of the cleanest freshwater bodies on Earth, mirrors rolling green hills and a sky so wide it seems infinite. Its waters host trout and grayling, while migratory birds, including swans and cranes, pause on their journeys, transforming the lake into a sanctuary of life amid the cold north. Here, the Duka people, a small, resilient ethnic group numbering only a few thousand, carry forward a culture intricately tied to reindeer. These animals are far more than livestock. They provide milk, meat, and hides, power sleds across frozen terrain, and serve as living repositories of knowledge about survival in subarctic climates. Families follow seasonal migration patterns, moving reindeer between forested winter ranges and summer pastures, their lives synchronized with the rhythms of the animals they rely on. Winters are merciless. Temperatures can drop below 50 C, and lakes freeze solid, creating natural highways that link otherwise isolated communities. Climate change has made survival even more precarious. Thawing permafrost, unpredictable snowfalls, and sudden storms threaten both reindeer and people. Herd losses are more frequent, forcing many nomadic families to reconsider their centuries-old ways. Some migrate to towns, abandoning traditional lifestyles, while others cling fiercely to the forests and frozen trails. In the northern frontiers, life is an ongoing negotiation with nature, a delicate balance between resilience and surrender, tradition and survival, where every breath of icy air reminds humans of both their vulnerability and their enduring connection to the land. The open heart of Mongolia. Steppe life. The Mongolian steppe is a vast, open expanse, stretching for thousands of kilometers, where the horizon seems to fold into the sky. This endless grassland is more than a landscape. It is the foundation of Mongolia's identity, shaping the culture, traditions, and rhythms of its people. Life here is dictated by seasons, wind, and the needs of livestock, demanding adaptability and intimate knowledge of the land. At the heart of steppe life are yurts, or gyrs, ingenious portable homes that reflect centuries of practical engineering. Wooden lattices fold into precise frameworks, layered with felt and canvas to provide insulation against biting winter winds and scorching summer sun. A family can assemble a fully functional yurt in under 2 hours, a skill passed from generation to generation. Inside, minimalism meets necessity. Low wooden furniture, stoves for warmth, and sacred corners adorned with offerings to protect the home. Yurts are not merely shelters. They are symbols of continuity, mobility, and resilience. Horses define life on the steppe. Beyond transportation, they are cultural icons embodying endurance, courage, and partnership. Children learn to ride almost as soon as they can walk, and the bond between horse and rider is celebrated annually during the Nadam festival. Wrestling, archery, and horse racing, skills that once determined the survival and success of Mongol warriors, are still contested with pride. The Mongol Derby, the world's longest horse race, follows ancient postal routes across 1,000 kilometers of rugged terrain, connecting modern riders with the legacy of the empire. On the steppe, time seems cyclical. Ancient traditions persist. Human and animal life move in harmony with the land, and Mongolia's essence is as palpable as the wind that sweeps across the endless grass. Taikar Chulu, monument to an unbroken spirit. At the far reaches of Mongolia, where the steppe meets the mountains, rises Taikar Chulu, a towering rock formation that has witnessed the passage of time on an epic scale. Its surface is etched with inscriptions and carvings, spanning millennia, from ancient shamans to empire builders and modern herders. Each marking tells a story, prayers whispered into the wind, records of battles fought, and symbols of survival in a land where life is constantly tested by extremes of climate and terrain. Shamans once used the rock as a conduit to the spirit world, carving sun symbols, animals, and abstract designs to communicate with unseen forces. Later, Mongol warriors and scribes left their marks, chronicling victories, alliances, and migrations. Even today, herders pause to make offerings, etching initials or symbols into the stone as acts of reverence, continuity, and hope. Taikar Chulu is not a monument to conquest, wealth, or empire. It is a testament to resilience and adaptability. It embodies the enduring spirit of the Mongolian people, who have thrived across deserts, steppe, and mountains for centuries. The rock stands like a silent witness to human endurance, reminding visitors that survival in Mongolia has always required ingenuity, courage, and harmony with nature. Standing before it, one senses the weight of countless generations and the unbroken line of human experience in one of Earth's harshest, most beautiful landscapes. In its shadows, the Mongolian story is written not in ink or gold, but in stone, spirit, and the timeless pulse of life. As our journey through Mongolia comes to an end, one thing becomes clear. This country is more than its dramatic landscapes, deserts, and mountains. It is a living story of survival, tradition, and the human spirit thriving in harmony with nature. From yurts dotting endless grasslands to golden eagles hunting alongside Kazakh hunters, each feature tells a tale of resilience and cultural continuity. Mongolia shows us that progress does not always mean leaving tradition behind, and that beauty often lies in extremes. If you enjoyed exploring this incredible country with us, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more journeys into hidden cultures, remote landscapes, and untold stories from around the world. Share this video with someone who loves history, adventure, or discovering places beyond the ordinary. And let us know in the comments which part of Mongolia amazed you the most, or which extreme landscape you would love to see next. Until our next journey, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep seeking the extraordinary wonders of our planet.